Hey guys, how's it going? This is Jared here from Razel's Revenge Gaming, coming at you with a weekly news update. Not really a whole bunch going on. I scoured some sites and all that for I don't know anything that I thought that was pressing, or maybe you guys didn't read yourselves somewhere, and I couldn't really find too terribly much. So this is probably going to be short on the actual news and rumors segment. So at the end, I'll probably touch on a couple of, I don't know, I guess, important things to do with, um, my brand and all that good stuff regarding social media, and probably push more on the rumor that I heard or that I have ready to talk about with the PS5 and all that good stuff. So, stay tuned to the end for that if you want to kind of hear what I got to say about that. So, pressing on, let's go ahead and start with the news. Um, First and foremost, Final Fantasy VII Dirge of Cerberus was actually re-trademarked by Square Enix again. Um, I don't know if you guys remember that game from way the hell back in the PS2 era, 2006. Let me check my notes. Yeah, 2006. It was part of a myriad of little spin-offs from the Final Fantasy VII game itself. But this one was one of the cooler ones, I think, just because it was like a third-person shooter slash RPG, and it dealt with one of the, like, I don't know, not like a main character, but an optional character or something from Final Fantasy VII. God, I can't remember his first name. His last name was like Valentine or Valentino or something like that. Anyways, the dude with the guns is basically what it was. Um, but yeah, so they re-trademarked that, and that's pretty interesting because with the new Final Fantasy launching in April, I believe, kind of begs to wonder the question of, are they going to bring back all of those other spin-off games now that there's a remastered version of Final Fantasy VII coming out? That's kind of cool. If it's the case, so I guess that's technically kind of like a, I don't know, it's a rumor. Um, but if they do that, that would be pretty badass because I believe Dirge of Cerberus deserves a remake, especially with today's technology and all that good stuff. It really wasn't that bad of a game. So once Final Fantasy VII launches, I guess expect to see Dirge of Cerberus at least to be coming out shortly thereafter. Um, any of the other ones haven't really been re-trademarked yet. The PSP one they had, and then there was that CGI movie, and I think there was a mobile game. Don't quote me on that, but I think so. I'm trying to wrap my brain back to 2006, and Jesus, that's a long time ago for me. But yeah, so if that happens, that's kind of cool, I guess. But just something interesting I thought I'd throw in there. Next, moving on would be, if you can believe this one or not, Plague Inc. was actually removed from the China App Store due to illegal content in China determined by the Cyberspace Administration of China. So, yeah, that's kind of dumb. I mean, I guess you could expect it, but it's just one of those things where it's like, oh, come on, man, really? Fuck China. That's pretty much all I gotta say. I just we put way too much stock in. I'm okay. Never mind. I'm not gonna go down that road. Just in general, fuck China. Leave it at that. Pressing on. Um, the game developer or game development conference, whatever it's called, GDC, is now canceled. There was a slew of cancellations from Epic, Unity, Iron Galaxy Studios, Amazon, Blizzard, Gearbox, Microsoft, and like a couple of other ones who were like, no, we're not going to do this because of, well, the coronavirus is pretty much why. So after a shit ton of cancellations, they canceled the GDC and they're going to move it to sometime this summer to be determined date. Um, so if you were looking forward to that, it's still going to happen, just not when it was supposed to happen. So keep your eyeballs peeled for a new date for that to be a thing. Um, oh, GOG. If you're familiar with GOG and all that, it's kind of strange that they would do this and not tell developers, but they changed their return policy where initially it was you could return the game or whatever as long as you hadn't downloaded it, which was weird because that essentially led to like a basically a no return policy. But whatever. Anyways, I'm digressing. They changed their return policy to a 30-day like no questions asked return policy. Very consumer friendly, but a lot of developers are kind of like, what the fuck, man? Because now you've got developers wondering, well, 30 days for a return policy on that. I mean, I agree with the devs on this, man. That's way too damn long of a like return window. That's a let me go ahead and beat this game and return to get my money back and basically have played the game for free. Which brings into light GOG's main like focus, I guess. I mean, focus probably isn't the right word, but anyways, they're big on non-DRM games. So, that begs the question of, with all of their non-DRM games, how many mofos out there are just going to blatantly abuse the system? Get the game, download it, and since there's no DRM, which means there's no, like, daily, weekly check-in with any kind of servers or whatever when you start the game, how many asshats out there are going to just buy the game and then simply return it and get the game for free? It's a double-edged sword because that's really consumer friendly and it's pretty awesome. It's just from like a developer standpoint, like especially small devs and stuff like that, man, that's a big hit for them to take. I mean, even like big developers, that's still a big hit for them to take if people abuse the return policy. I don't know how long that's actually going to last them. I mean, it's probably going to be implemented for a minute, but I guess it all depends on how many legit cases of like return policy abuse they see before they do anything. So keep your eyeballs open for that. If you use GOG or whatever, congratulations. You kind of have a loophole now to abuse the return policy. Just don't be an asshat and do that and ruin it for everybody else. I know it'll be tempting. Just control yourself. Last little bit of, I guess, news would be that good old Bethesda, Jesus, I can't talk. Good old Bethesda is surprised at how few people want to take part in their little Battle Royale PvP mode for Fallout 76. I don't see how the hell they're surprised at this. It seems like it would be a no-brainer. Basically, everyone who wanted a multiplayer Fallout game wanted a like couch buddy co-op Fallout game, kind of like like a 7 Days to Die experience or something like that, where you could just build with your buddies, explore with your buddies, do the storyline with your buddies and all that good stuff, and not just Fallout never seemed like it was one of those, oh yeah, let me do a PvP with Fallout. It's like, no. I mean, the combat barely works as is with like Fallout 4 and Fallout 76, and if you've played those games enough, you know what I mean. Like, the hit detection is awful. There's like inconsistencies with like damage, and it's a mess. But since it's not a competitive like FPS or whatever, it's more of an RPG. You kind of overlook it and you just get used to it because it's not like game breaking. It's just the combat for Fallout was never meant to be like a battle royale competitive PvP thing. It just simply wasn't. All of us just wanted a fucking Fallout game that we could play with our friends. That's all we wanted. I guess that was too much to ask for. However, with the Wastelanders update coming out in April-ish, sometime in April, we'll finally get that. So, if you've been putting off Fallout 76 just because of the terrible reviews and the horrible state that it launched and all that, when it pops out with the Wastelander update, give it another whirl, because it's supposed to go back to an actual like Fallout route, you know, NPCs, dialogue wheels, factions, reputation with factions, all that glorious stuff. So it's supposed to go back to a real Fallout experience. And then, you know, once that happens, it might actually be worth investing in Fallout first. That's just me. We'll see what happens. That's all I got for the gaming news thing. Oh, random tidbit I saw maybe a couple hours ago. I think it was on like Game Rant or GameSpot or whatever. They were harping on GameStop for laying off some district managers. Sorry about the throat clearing. It's the remnants of the flu I had and the bronchitis. But they laid off 10 district managers out of everyone they have. They laid off 10. It's dropping the bucket, dude. That doesn't mean nothing. That doesn't mean they're going out of business tomorrow. And even though, you know, outlook not so good in long run, that whole article didn't need to be written. People get laid off every day, and I don't know. I kind of felt like I had to touch on that one just simply because of my history with GameStop, working there, and having friends that work there, and all that good stuff. It's cool to dump on GameStop. I get it. A lot of people hate GameStop, but realistically, for people in like rural areas and small places like where I live, and you don't have good internet, or you live outside of city limits and you can't get internet, or a decent enough internet to actually like download shit and stream things and all that good stuff, physical hard copies are the way to go, because then that way you just have to worry about downloading updates. You know, there's no like downloading a damn 60 gig game and having to wait 2 or 3 days for it to, you know, figure out, I mean, for it to download or whatever. I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about. It's if GameStop was wise, they'd probably pull out of all the major cities and do like Dollar General does and go rural and just do it that way. I mean, not like have a damn GameStop with every corner you see out in a field with just a Dollar General, but you get my point. Anyways, so yeah, I thought I'd bring that up just because, like I said, it's fun to dump on GameStop, but come on, dude, it was 10 district managers that were laid off. That's not really a lot. But, okay, anywho. Moving on to the one and only rumor I found that was kind of interesting or worthwhile to bring up. Sony is supposedly having 2 versions of the PS5. It's not confirmed or anything like that, strictly just a rumor, so take it with a grain of salt. But they're supposed to have like your standard run-of-the-mill PS5, and then they're supposed to have like a PS5 Pro model, which is what I'm calling it, that is supposed to be right up there spec-wise with the Xbox Series X. Now, this is where I'm going to go back in with the little bit of when I first started saying that I was going to elaborate a bit on the rumor. This, if it actually happens, wouldn't be surprising. Sony, I think, realized that there's a market for like a base model of something and then a pro version of the base model. You know, same as Xbox figured out. So it doesn't surprise me. However, the price points I've seen for this PS5 Pro model and even the Xbox Series X, landing you anywhere from, you know, the $500 to $600 mark, that I think, if those price marks are legitimate, that's going to be the nail in the coffin for, I don't want to say consoles in general, but I think it'll be like the start of it. Because let's all be honest here, if you go and drop $500-600 on just a tower, you know, like a PC, you can get a decent enough gaming PC for within the $500-600 range to start playing PC games, man. I get console games are easier because you buy the console and bam, you're ready to go. You don't have to worry about like upgrading every 2 or 3 years or anything like that. But seriously, if these next gen consoles are going to hit that $500-600 mark, you really might want to consider just migrating to PC, man. Because that's ridiculous to expect someone to pay that much money for a console. That was part of the reason why I kept with console gaming, because while it was still expensive, it was still a couple $100 cheaper than PC gaming was. Like to get into like just a beginning PC rig for gaming. Not so much anymore if the price points are true. So I just wanted to put that one out there. No news on like, or rumors rather, if Microsoft is going to do the same thing with the Xbox Series X. I think the Series X is just like one behemoth of a box, and that's it. Like, it's just, Microsoft went balls deep, and this is what you're getting. No base model or pro model. It's just, boom, here, console, deal with it, which is fine. I'd rather that be the thing than, the base model and the pro model thing. But that's about it. That's all I've got for like news and rumors this week. It's a little skimpy, I know, but it is what it is. And now I'd like to touch on the little social media part that I talked about in the beginning, where YouTube, at least YouTube, has like statistics and stuff that you can use to view viewers on your channels, see how many views you have and all that versus your subscribers and so forth and so forth. Well, I get views, and believe it or not, the views you see on the channel versus like the actual views that I see, they vary. Not like astronomically or anything. It's like if it says on the page that it's only been viewed like 8 times on my end, it'll say like 11 or 12, something like that. The reason I'm bringing this up, I guess, to not really get sidetracked, is that, if you're watching this and you like my content and all that and want to see more, want to see where everything develops and starts going, because let's be honest, I've only been putting videos out for a couple of months now, maybe. I don't even know. But anyways, if you want to watch what the progress is and how it grows, then just hit the subscribe button, man. It helps my channel grow. It helps the channel get suggested to people. It helps me actually stay relevant in the algorithm. It just helps out a buttload if you hit that subscribe button. And everybody knows that. And for some strange reason, not everyone does it. And I get it. I'm kind of guilty of it too. But if I watch someone's video, like, if there's 2 or 3 videos I watch and they're like, oh, hey, it's pretty cool, I'll hit them, I'll give them a subscribe. I might not click the notification button because I'd rather go back to their page when I'm ready to go see what new stuff they have and all that, but I'll at least give them the sub. And I guess that's really all that I'm asking is, if you happen to come across this video or whatever and you're not subbed to it, just hit the sub button. I don't care if you turn on notifications or not. I'd like for you to, so that way, like, the video gets more views, but the sub count is also important, and I hate having to bring this up because it sounds like I'm pandering, please notice me senpai kind of BS, but I'm not really trying to go down that route, even though it sounds like it. It's just, it's the way things are out in the digital content creator medium world, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Same goes for Twitter and Facebook, Instagram, Minds, BitChute, any social media platform that a content creator that you watch is on. The more you interact, the more you hit the follow button, the more you hit the like button or the notifications on buttons or any of that shit, helps them so much more than you think it actually does. Like, especially for my people over on Bitstream. Like, this is gonna sound terrible. Like, I've only got 3 subscribers on BitChute. However, my videos get 4 or 5 times the amount of views that like my YouTube videos do. I just, the same thing goes for the people who watch this video over on BitChute. If you like the content, if you like, or if you want to see where, my little brand endeavor progresses, hit the sub button, dude. I mean, that's all you got to do. It takes 2 seconds and it helps me out tremendously. And, you can always unsubscribe if you decide you hate me, or you don't like the way I look. If for some reason my southern accent and drawl finally just grates on your last nerve and you're like, fuck you, guy, I'm out, it's cool. I understand it. No hard feelings. Bye, Felicia, or whatever the fuck you want to say. I get it. I understand. I too am kind of like you, where I'll watch shit for a while, and if they start going down some kind of path that I don't like, and I'm just like, yep, well, fuck this, unsubscribe, and then, I'll check back a little while later, and if they get back on track or whatever, I'll subscribe again. I completely understand it, because I'm on the same side as you guys are, but I'm also on this side, and I understand more, being a content creator, what a simple share will do for your channel, or a simple sub, a like, a comment, any kind of interactions whatsoever on any of the social media platforms helps your small time creators just so tremendously, man. So if you've gotten this far and you haven't like said, fuck you, Jared, I'm gone, hit the sub button. If you want to, share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook, share it on Minds, wherever you're at, share it just to help, get the word out. Because, yeah, this is a small time ordeal right now. I'm doing the best I can with the bare minimum. I just wanted to start and throw myself out there and see what happens. So if this becomes a larger channel and all that good stuff, at least you can say you were here from the beginning, and once I start doing, or once I reach a point, hopefully, to where I can start doing like giveaways and all sorts of other random shit, I mean, I hate to say it, but for those of you that have been around forever and a day, I'll probably end up leaning more towards giving you guys the first couple of things that happen, and then it'll be, completely like random, which it will be anyways, but let's be honest, I'll probably lean more towards my loyal subscribers and all that good stuff versus just, a rando or whatever. So, anyways, that's all I got. I know that last little bit sounded bad, but I really try not to bullshit people, and let's all be honest. Pretty sure every other content creator out there does exactly what I just said. They just might try to sugarcoat it or be like, no, I don't do that, or, the good old titty streamers with their OnlyFans or whatever. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should get an OnlyFans and put some tassels on my nipples and start dancing around. Anyways, I'm going to leave that here. You guys have a good week and all that. I'll be back next week with another video. And as always, like I said, man, if you like this, if you want to see more of it, hit the like button, subscribe, share it, all that good stuff. I'll have links below with the website you can go to, and the other social media apps I'm on. Links to those. I also have a Subscribe Star, which starts at like little as $1 a month. So if you want to kick in at the very beginning for like $1 or something a month, just to be like, hey, I have faith in you. That's cool. I got you. It's fine. Greatly appreciated. But anyways, you guys have a good one, and I'll see you guys next week, hopefully. And be safe and take it easy.